Here we're going to have a look at input masks, which can often be the trickiest. However, Access does give you quite a bit of help because there are some built-in input masks that we can use. So on our table, what we're going to have a look at is a couple of input masks, one for a date and one for a postcode, which are very, very typical in terms of what you're likely to use them for. So I've clicked here on the date of birth, and we're going to go down to the input mask, and I can, if I know the code, I can type it straight in. However, we're going to go across and we're going to use the built-in function here, which is accessed with the little button with the 3 dots. So we're going to click on that, and you'll see that it comes up with a wizard. And because we've set the data type up as the date and time, it's given us a date and time wizard. So if I want to set up an input mask for date of birth, all I need to do is just simply pick my the format which I want. So I'm going to use this format, which is the format that I want the data entered in, and click next, and it will do that for me, and I can have a practice to make sure that it's exactly as I want. You'll see it comes up with a skeleton, and I can see that I can type in the suitable data, so that looks quite good. Because it's a date and time, it will also automatically recognise that I haven't put in a valid date. So let me just check by putting in something a little bit more sensible. That's fine. So I'm going to click next and click finish, and notice now that it's put the input mask in there for you. So now this will automatically force that particular format of date onto the user. Second one we're going to have a look at is postcode, and postcode is something which is going to be in virtually every system, and also there is a built-in function to produce an input mask for a postcode, but unfortunately for us it's not quite correct, so we're going to have to amend it. So again, I've clicked on postcode, I've gone down to input mask, I'm going to click on the button with the 3 dots to open the wizard, and you'll see, because it's a text field, it's given me a few choices. Phone number, there's password, there's a postal code in there, and there's a few others for dates and times, as you've seen before. So I'm going to click on postcode, and I'm going to click through on to next, and I want to draw attention to the input mask that's got up here, and you'll see it says LL000LL, and what that means is that it's going to force the user to put in the data into this field in the format letter, letter, number, 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 letter, letter. So LL is letter, 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 00 is number, number, then there's a space, then 0 is another number, and then L for 2 letters. Now that's fine, except British postcodes don't quite work like that. So in actual fact, our postcodes are a letter, letter, and then either 1 or 2 numbers. So you could have BH3, for example, or you could have BH23. So it's letter, letter, 1 number, then an optional second number, and then it's always a number, and then 2 letters. So in order to make it work properly, what we actually need to do is change the second 0 to become a 9. And what that actually tells the machine is that the second number is optional, so it doesn't have to be there. So now we're able to type in BH4 and then nothing, and then a particular second part as is correct. So if you do set up the postcode, you need to make sure that you just change that format. We're going to go through on next, and you'll see here that it now gives you a choice as to how you want it to be displayed, either with a space or without a space. Well, I much prefer it with a space, so I'm going to add that, and then click finish. And you'll see that it's put in the code for you. So dates and postcodes are the most typical. You might also want to do it for telephone numbers. There are some examples on a document in MyBrock which tells you what the field properties are. So you should, if it doesn't happen to be in the automated list that Access gives you, use that document, and you should be able to use the code to set up the input masks that you want.